for another bridge camp. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I feel like I should come up with a better hook or something, but I don't know. That's what the fuck I'm doing. I'm going to a bridge and I'm gonna put my hammock up and sleep under it or on the side of it. I did a video last week doing pretty much the same thing, but I forgot a headlamp and I didn't get to put my hammock up till the next morning because I got there after dark. So I have a headlamp this time and it is not dark yet. Will be soon. But I'm gonna get my hammock up before too long and post up there for the night. I don't know if I have work tomorrow and I don't know if I'll have cell service, so I'm just gonna have to get up real early and head back regardless. But I love this place because I drive for 40 minutes and I'm in the remote wilderness of Alaska in a rainforest. I want to try to take it a little deeper this time, which kind of makes my butthole pucker a little bit, but I've been avoiding it for a long time. I tried recording a few videos last summer and it still feels really weird. It doesn't feel as weird now. Yeah, but when I start to think about it, I kind of trip out a little bit. So I'm gonna try to keep flowing and not get in my own way here. Posting that last one was weird. It's like I gotta like work the performance out of me. There's still parts of me that perform, you know, out of fear that showing my true self is dangerous for some reason. And that fear like lives in my DNA almost. It's not just mine. Some of it's from my experience in this lifetime, but ultimately it feels much older. Like the deep fear of death, pretty much. If I let my light shine, if I let my authenticity show, that it's actually going to put my life at risk somehow. I'm going to be abandoned. And if you want to know more about that topic, if that's something that resonates with you, Dr. Gabor Mate, he has a lot of great stuff out there. You can watch lectures and interviews. He's also got a really good book called The Myth of Normal, and I haven't finished it yet, but he gets into topics around, I guess the one that I was just talking about is authenticity versus attachment. And I think that's what the chapter is actually called in the book, Authenticity versus Attachment, and how as children, one of our most basic human needs is attachment. Without attachment to a family, to a community, to caretakers, an infant is as good as dead. So it's going to prioritize that attachment over some of its other needs, including authenticity. And it might not seem like a need, but if you read the book, you'll find study after study after study, clinical studies showing evidence that suppression of authenticity ultimately leads to disease, chronic illness, and all of the stuff, all the all the sickness that we're dealing with in the world today. A lot of the sickness that we're dealing with in the world today. Not all of it. I highly recommend his work. Yeah. I just found this Ween album 2 days ago. I can't stop listening to it. It's White Pepper. So I am veering off the main road down to a place called creek called Game Creek. It's a salmon creek and there's salmon in it. So that means that also there are bears in it fishing sometimes. So hopefully get lucky today. It's tricky because I gotta pick one side of the bridge, and hopefully any bears that come are on that side of the bridge. Otherwise, I'll just be able to hear them. They'll be right there, but I won't be able to see them. My friend Noel came up with this idea 5 years ago. In 2019. Oh man, that was such a good summer. Ask anybody who was in Hoonah in 2019 and pretty sure they'll tell you how magical of a summer it was. This place is crazy. The energy here is mystifying always. Time doesn't feel the same when I'm here versus other places. And just the flow of life is so tangible. Like when things are thick and gunky, you can fucking feel it. And when things are flowing, you can feel it. Smells like dead fish, so that's a good sign. Oh yeah. There's a bunch of carcasses all on the riverbank. What do you think, guys? Left or right? I'm gonna get out and see where there's more fish. We've been conditioned to see that there's a definitive line between life and death, as if they're two separate things and not two sides of the same coin. One of them can't exist without the other, and the line we draw between them is completely arbitrary. All these dead salmon here, all this death, if you look at it another way, is life, because these rotting carcasses feed the trees on the riverbanks and probably do so much more than that I'm not aware of. And without that food, the trees would not have life. Okay, the sun's gonna rise somewhere on this side, so I'm gonna sleep on this side. Hey.
How you doing, Jack?
Pretty good, Chip. How are you?
Good morning. You look already looked.
Yeah. A lot of zombies. My head. Really using my head with this one. Okay. Wait. Everything. Oh no, I think I have to go around. Ew. All that shit went in my crock. I could feel it between my toes. What's that? Yeah, right here on these things. Put my hammock here.
Oh.
I'm gonna be in a little cocoon for the night.
You're being serious, man.
I don't take myself too seriously.
Huh?
I don't take myself too seriously.
Are you coming up or what are you doing?
No, I'm putting my hammock on right now.
I don't know if you want to just sing over there, but
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Then your bed sprays right there. Well, you know.
Yeah, I didn't want it falling out of my pocket.
You saved me. In the car upstairs. So.
In case you can't tell from the perspective of the 360 camera, the the river is a good like at least 15 feet down. I wonder if they saw me. Oh. All right. Cool. Time to make some dinner. This is my POV mount, if anyone was wondering. Just got a little safety clip and everything. So I forgot my pot and I can't make my water hot. So I'm gonna eat my breakfast for dinner because that's all I got. I'm more bummed that was gonna give me something to do. I like the ritual of making food while I'm out camping. And that's okay. I still have the ritual of rolling myself a joint for dessert. Nope.
That's all three up the upper gate.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've been here for like 30 minutes. Nothing.
Bridge 2. Door 1.
Another local guy just drove by. Can't stop rhyming. He said that there's bears up at Upper Game Creek. He saw 3 of them. So I might be in the wrong spot tonight, but it's too late to move. I already got my hammock set up. Gosh darn it. For those of you who don't know what no-see-ums are, they are biting gnats, basically, and they just love to latch on. I don't know how such a tiny thing can cause so much irritation and pain sometimes. And they love to crawl up right in the brim of your hat, sometimes all up into your hair. They get really bad just around dusk. So I'm gonna try to wait them out for a minute.
Oh my god.
I fucking up. Bag secured.
Okay. Alright. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Kick back. Relax. Better than that. This is what people do for fun, right?
last night after I finished eating, I was in my car and there's 2 cars pulled up and parked right by me, and like 10 people got out and all walked out onto the bridge. And I got out and talked to one of the guys in the group for a while. A guy named Dusty. Pretty cool guy. Guess he visits Hoonah every summer. He's got a boat in the harbor here. And he just had a bunch of friends visiting, friends and family. They were looking for bears out here. And after a while, there was a mom and her cubs way down the road. You could just see their silhouettes, just barely. And then they went off into the woods. And the big group of people left. I came down and set up camp. And I think I was hanging out for maybe like 45 minutes at most before I started to hear a bear crying, moaning, making sounds in the woods right about in there. And it just kept periodically crying and moaning, and then it got more frequent. And it was kind of unnerving. I had chills going up my spine, and I could tell that she knew I was here somehow. Maybe the bug spray that the group gave to me. Bears have a really good sense of smell, so there's a good chance she could smell me. And I am upstream from down there, so I could just feel like my presence was known. And so I was just, trying to remain as calm as possible. I even started humming some mantras at one point, just focusing on the vibration in my chest. And eventually I heard a bear walking through the water right over there, and she walked all the way over here. And then by the time she was around here, I could see she had 2 little cubs behind her. So it was the same mom that we saw down the road. And they walked right underneath me. And I saw the silhouette of one of the cubs kind of stop right here, cock his head up towards me and sniff. And then they went on. So far, those are the only bears I've seen, and it was so dark I couldn't get any footage. I could barely see them myself. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to hold out here. My back is aching, and I'm going to have to pee soon.
I got in my hammock last night and smoked half of a joint, and then the paranoia set in. And yeah, I heard that one mom with her cubs, like, fucking didn't sound anything like that, but she was in the woods just making noise. And I swear to God, at one point I heard her talk. I didn't hear what she said, but I heard words. Like, I swear I could hear whatever, like, language she was speaking in. It immediately sent a bolt of lightning down my spine when I heard that specific phrase. Like, I could hear her making sounds, and you know, it had me listening closely, and I was alert, of course, but there was something about the specific phrase, that specific sound she made in it, like it was somebody speaking English, but I just couldn't hear them over the sound of the river. And it just, that felt insane. Like, at that moment I realized how far from alone I am out here. That these trees and these bears and the entire environment around me is just as aware of me, if not more aware of me, as I am of it. Okay, I don't care how shitty this one comes out. I'm not doing any more takes. I don't want to do takes ever. I just want to be able to fucking talk without getting in my own way and tripping over my self-judgments and self-loathing and self-doubt and all this shit that might be around for a while, and that's okay, but I don't want it to let me... I don't want it to stop me from fucking around and finding out. Getting on YouTube and giving a bit of a deeper look into my life is something that I've wanted to do for a while. Not on YouTube necessarily, but just to share my dharma per se with more of the world. And it's nerve-wracking. I got back early this morning from the bridge camp and just been doing some chores and resting, and I did get to go back and watch all of the footage on my phone, and it's really, really hard watching myself talking to a camera. I feel so much self-loathing, and I hear so many judgmental thoughts, and I just cringe, and it's not gonna stop me anymore. I'm just gonna have to do it awkward for a while, and eventually, hopefully I get more comfortable and I can be more clear. I can be more clearly seen, and all these parts of me that are running around inside like crazy right now because I'm putting myself out there and it's fucking scary. Hopefully all of these protective parts can calm down after a while of just collecting some evidence that it's not so dangerous to be a talking head on a screen. But yeah, that bear footage, that last clip at the bridge, was right before I left. I had already packed everything up. I was sitting in my car, and I was about to turn it on and leave, and I thought, just in case, I'm gonna go check one more time. And sure enough, there was a mom and her cubs. Most definitely the same mom and cubs that I saw last night. And it was cute. There's one of them that's like very light blonde and the other cub is darker brown. And I think that's what was making the scary sounds last night. I guess cubs, they make funny noises. They like to try to talk. So, yeah, it's crazy what half a joint and being alone in the wilderness will do to your brain, and the fear that I felt, feeling like there was something more than just bears out there, which there is. There's a lot going on that we can't see, and it is scary sometimes, but you know, I am proud of myself for using the tools that I had, and also just having the resilience to sit through that fear. Sometimes I can't make it go away. It's just there. A couple weeks ago, maybe like a month ago at this point, I hiked up a mountain here that you can see here from town called Ear Mountain, Two Ear Mountain, or Segugu Shaw. And I went up by myself, and I ate some mushrooms on the way up. And when the mushrooms kicked in, I couldn't bypass the fear anymore that I had been feeling the whole time, but it was easier to just kind of push through it, push it down, keep breathing and keep moving. And then after the mushrooms kicked in, I couldn't ignore the fear anymore. It was up on the surface, and I was pretty fucking scared. And sometimes that's it. Sometimes I'm just really fucking scared. Sometimes we're really scared, and you just gotta, do it scared. Breathe and expand myself to hold space for the fear, and also simultaneously feeling into my own capabilities and trusting myself to succeed. Feeling into all the different parts at the same time. The fear and the courage. There's a part of me that sometimes, like on that hike, but also metaphorically just in life, I sit down to catch a breath and I get stuck in a thought loop, or I get stuck in a feeling, and I expect myself to get unstuck from that thought or feeling first, and then to continue on my path. But sometimes I just have to continue down the path regardless of whatever thoughts or feelings I might be stuck in. And sometimes that's what's necessary to gain a new perspective on whatever it was I might have been stuck in. Yeah, just kind of rambling at this point. I think that's all I have to say for this one. Thanks for bearing with me. Spelled Bearing. I'll see you next time.